What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Chronicles of a Virgo Podcast. And as usual, I'm your favorite Virgo host, Shakita Johnson. And what is up, y'all? I know it feels like it has been forever since you have heard my voice, right? I feel like I have all types of nerves going through my veins right now because I have not recorded in so long, let alone a solo episode. But here we are. And here we are today with our final episode of season 3 of Chronicles of a Virgo podcast. So this is our season finale. So thank you guys for tapping back in with me. I truly hope that you guys are all doing well, taking care of yourselves. Hope your mental health and wellness and everything is in a good spot and you're doing well. And if you're not, just know that I'm sending you lots of love and positive vibes your way. So I hope it is well received because it is sent with pure intention. Okay. So I know these last couple episodes, well, last couple weeks and months have been a bit rocky with gaps in between with my episodes. And I do apologize in advance. I do. And we are going to get into all that. But first and foremost, I want to keep it consistent. Okay. And I want to start off with my mental health check that we have been continuing doing for the last 2 seasons, where we rate our mental health on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being that we are feeling good, feeling great in a wonderful space, and 1, we're not in the best space, have some room for pouring, but we are managing. So, how are you guys feeling today? From a scale of 1 to 5, I hope you guys are fiving it out or more. Okay. But for me today, I'm going to say I'm a solid 4. I kind of went back and forth between 4 and 4.5, but I'm just going to sit at a 4. Okay. If I'm being honest, and I'm not feeling bad, my mental health is good. Just sometimes, you feel good, but you're not all the way there. And that's okay. And if you're not nowhere near that and you're just in a bad space, do know that it is okay to not always be okay. It's okay to not always have the answers to what's going on. But the mental health checks is my encouragement to myself and to you guys to sit in those moments, to try to figure out what's going on, to listen to your inner dialogue, talk to yourself. What are you feeling? Where are you feeling the discomfort in your body? Because that may mean something, a bigger meaning behind it, but really get down to the bottom and the core of what's going on. If you need to resort to some outside resources, whether it's like a medical professional, a mental health professional, or just confining in a family or a friend, please do so. But don't feel like you have to continue to carry all of those burdens and all of the weight of those things alone. Because, yes, it has been so many things going on around us in the world, in our personal lives. And sometimes we need to just release. We need to ultimately release everything, but some things take a little bit longer. I do understand that as I am human, okay? But I also understand life be life and you don't have the answers sometimes, and sometimes things take a little longer, and that is okay. So as long as you are taking precaution and the steps that you need to be in a better space, then that's good. A lot of us, and what this season has really taught me and has showed is a lot of us wear a lot of different capes, and some people have huge roles that they have to fulfill not only in their life but in the lives of other people. And there are a lot of people that may look up to you for that, or look up to you to hold down the household, the job, the department, whatever it is. And when we are not our better selves, when our cup is not overflowing, then we can't continue to pour out something that we don't have. Okay. If your gas tank is on E, how are you going to proceed 100 more miles if you don't have the gas in the tank? Okay. So when you feel yourself nearing to that E point, don't even allow yourself to get to that point before you take action and fill yourself back up. All right. That's all I'm trying to say. I ain't trying to preach to y'all, but y'all know we got to be okay and take a break. Okay. So thank you guys for continuing to support the mental health checks, continuing to be transparent and vulnerable in spaces with me where we talk about mental health and where you accept me for my rambling about my situations and dealing with the things that I have dealt with previously up till now. Like, I truly do appreciate it. I'm glad that I was able to create this safe space for us to have the kind of dialogue because everyone doesn't have that safe space, you know? And shout out to all my guests that come on the platform that talk about it, you know, because nothing is scripted over here, as y'all know. So you can definitely say, no, I don't want to talk about it. We're not going to get into that. And that is perfectly fine. But I appreciate everyone that does, you know? So, like I said, today is the season finale of this marvelous season. This has been a tremendous season. This podcasting journey in itself has been so rewarding. It's I can't even find the words to say how rewarding it has been. And I know I probably said it last season ending that I didn't know that that season was going to be as monumental in my life, but this season I can definitely say that, being that when I started this season in November, I was already twiddling the line about starting because I wasn't where I felt like I needed to be physically, more so physically, to do that. Y'all know I had just moved in the beginning of last year and I didn't move where I wanted to move. So I wanted to wait to start my season until I got where I needed to be, not knowing how long it was going to take me to get there or if it was even really going to happen. But I had this gut feeling, had to trust my intuition that said, hey, you need to do this. And this is the layout, and these are the guests, et cetera, et cetera. And I had to be obedient to that. And I'm grateful that I did, because things really came full circle towards the end of the season. And I needed those people. I needed those messages and that inspiration, and everything that has happened this season was so beneficial to me. I always say that even though I run this platform, you hear my voice, I'm the face of it. This platform is not about me. It's about uplifting people's stories so they can pour out to everyone else that's listening, gain some insight, some motivation from. But this season, I was on the outskirts of that. Like, this season was for me, like listening to what was being said and having to use some of these things and some of these services that people offered on this season. And I say all that to say, if you're following me on social media, a couple weeks ago, I put up a post. Not Labor Day, Memorial Day weekend. Unfortunately, I found out that my father had been found and he was no longer with us. And I put up a post just explaining, what I was going through at the time, and that I just needed everyone to just bear with me and give me grace, because I wasn't finished my season. I needed to get those episodes out, even though I had already had conversations with those guests about, they knew what was going on. I just wanted to do them justice and put their stories out and their messages, because they were too good to hold on to. And I just needed time. I didn't know how much time, as I didn't know what was about to happen in my life at that point. I dealt with grief. I talk about it all the time. It's been a part of my mental health and my healing journey, but I didn't know that it could get to the extent of where it was. And I truly realized that it's so different. I hear it all the time, but until you're in a position where you are planning a parent's funeral, that's a different feeling. And I know I don't discuss, or have not discussed, me and my father's relationship a lot on this podcast. And I'm not going to take up all of this episode to do that or to really explain what happened. What I am doing is I'm working on a video that I am going to put out probably about next weekend about this whole experience, just the grief, the feelings, the ins and out of me and his relationship, and where I am at that point when that video comes out. And my hope with that is people understand me better, grief better, and just how to navigate the uncertainty, because that's exactly what it was. As I am next of kin and the oldest child of my father's, I had so much responsibility that I didn't know what I was doing. And I also have a teenage sister, so having to be the support and still be supportive to myself, took a lot of grace, took a lot of love. Needless to say, the podcast got put on the back burner and it continued to stay there. Although the episodes rolled out, there became some like disengagement, and there still is there. I'm gonna be very honest. Grief has a way of just knocking the wind out of you and taking things from you, and you having to rebuild. I'm okay with that. However, I went back to episodes and that people that came on and talked about it, because we talked about grief a lot this season, and those people reached out, and I needed that. I didn't know coming into the season that I was going to need that. All I knew was the theme for this season was the rise of the Phoenix, because I knew and felt that in November, when the season started, I was in my Phoenix mode. You couldn't tell Shakita that she wasn't thriving through her Phoenix mode. You couldn't tell me that I did not rise through the ashes of what I was going through at that particular time. And I just wanted to continue to bring more Phoenixes onto the platform to show how they have risen through their experiences, through their trauma, and they were continuing to push through. What I didn't foresee was me having to endure more things that I had to rise through. And that's not to say life is perfect, right? Because as you see, life be life, and nobody has a perfect life. However, how my therapist tried to explain it to me was the people that have come on my platform from this season and even go back to previous seasons, I listened to their messages, I took in their insight, and at the time, maybe some of the things that was said, it didn't apply to me. But this season, a lot of those things did apply to me. And I had to navigate the path in using some of those resources now that are part of my tool belt, like I like to say, So I'm forever grateful for how things panned out, because if y'all remember back to my December episode to close out 2023 with me and Jess, I wasn't in the best space mentally. January, I took the whole month off of my job to like mentally decompress and just get better. I burnt out with work, the podcast, life. I burnt out with just everything that was going on around me. And I took the time to just be, came back fully refreshed. Felt like I was a different person. And honestly, ever since then, January, my life has been wonderful. It has been marvelous. Everything that I have seeked, or everything that has seeked me, has found me, and I have just been blessed. And then the unfortunate situation of my father passing. So I'm like, oh, here we go again. Needless to say, I know I'm rambling. I say all that to say, if you are somebody that saw the post, commented on a post, DM me, message me, text me, called me, tried to FaceTime me, if you made contact with me on the basis of knowing what happened, just know that your words of encouragement, your messages, your support was what was getting me through those days. And I know I shared a lot of that with y'all. Because sometimes you just feel stuck. And I was stuck. I was like, man, I just started this job. I can't take time off. And my job has held me down 10 toes. They've been very supportive. I'm so thankful for my team, my department. But to everyone that in the podcasting realm, the podcasters that reached out to me with telling me their own experiences, things that I've never heard some of y'all even disclose on your own shows, other supporters in different countries, and just all over, just I was overwhelmed with support. I'm so grateful. It meant so much to me. It meant so much to my family. Um, Thank you. Just thank you for acknowledging me during that time. Thank you for giving me grace. Thank you for loving on me. And thank you to the ones that continue to do it. You don't have to. And that's the thing about life. Like, we choose, we make choices to do or we don't. But people that have consciously made an effort to, just know that I appreciate you. Because even though someone can show up on social media every day and appear to be fine, behind closed doors, they may not be. And I need people to really, really understand that despite how you see people always showing up on social media or in a workspace or just out in public, just know that they may not always be that way. So take it easy with bombarding people with your issues or just messages that have no relevance right now. And it's okay to just reach out and be like, hey, how are you doing today? Are you feeling good? Just because you may know they're going through something or not, just taking the time to just invite them in and invite in some positivity and some good vibes, because you never know who may need it, or you never know when you may be that person that may need it. Okay. So thank you guys so much. Thank you to my family. My mom, Big Lisa, been holding me down these last months, 10 toes in the mud. Okay. I'm so grateful for that woman. But like I said, it was a lot of stuff that happened. I'm going to do another video. It's going to be on YouTube in another week. So look out for that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I just wanted to definitely just thank everyone. And it does hold some relevance to me closing out this season because, like I said, this season was the rise of the phoenix, right? All of my guests have risen in their positions in life. They have risen through their circumstances and in their unfortunate situations and encounters, right? And we really talked a lot about grief. We talked a lot about grief and just having the faith to get through. And those conversations, what was really what I had to cling to during my time of need. Sometimes we think we have it together. And what this season also showed me is you don't always have it together. And it's okay to take resources and assistance from elsewhere. My girl Panther from Vital Chats with P, through one of our conversations, she said, continue to lean in to your support. And at that time, I'm like, damn, I'm not about to be a burden to people. You know, if people reach out to me, I would respond, but I'm not want to be the person that's continuing to like seek, you know. But I took it another way. I continued to lean into my support, whether it was having conversations with people or just listening to podcasts or if it was just listening to music. Those to me was supportive things that was getting me by. So lean into your support, however that may look for you, whether it's people, places, things, a hobby, lean into it because it may be something that you'll look back at later and you'll realize how beneficial it was to you in that process. So again, this season has been all about rising through our ashes, rising through our life experiences, our trials and tribulations, and just being a better person, coming out on top, even though sometimes it may take time. You know, you may give yourself a timeline of when you want to have a new job, when you want to be married, have kids, and all this stuff. And then that time comes and you're like, I failed, but you really didn't. You really didn't. Dr. Anita Phillips didn't become a doctor or even embark on a journey until she was in her 30s. And look at her now. If you don't know what Anita Phillips is, Google her. Okay. Google her. And that says something. That sets a precedence of we can have goals and aspirations. And if you continue to look at everyone else's life outside of yours and where they are and try to do things how they did it, you may not succeed the way that they did, or it may take time for you to do things. And my guess this season, what they showed and taught me is even at being at the highest of the peak of their careers, are things sometimes you do get knocked down. And I may be right now fulfilling my role as in being an author and an entrepreneur, but it did not happen overnight. Some people it took years and took time. Some people almost lost their lives because they were in jail, you know. And when they get was given a second chance, they were able to embark on a new journey. So if you have listened to all 20 something episodes this season, if you had not gained anything, one thing I hope that you could gain is that you can thrive through any encounter that is placed on your path. And just because things seem like they're not going to get better doesn't mean that it won't. Because some people have been in very horrific situations and encounters where they're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to protect myself. What am I supposed to do? And then there's a light bulb that goes, a light switch that goes on, and then here they are now. Okay. So this season, it has just been so filling. I use that word a lot after a lot of episodes that it was just filling because it filled me up with just ammunition to just keep pushing forward. And like I said, with everything that have been happening in my life these last couple of weeks, I've had to resort back to some of their resources and recommendations that they put out there. Like, hey, this is what helped me. Try it, may help you. And it did. Here we are now, right? And I hope that people continue to come across these episodes and listen to the clips and things, and you gain something from it. Because again, I believe in the power of community. I do, but I also believe in the power of just being with yourself and finding the things to feed your soul and to feed you so that when you're needed, you can be of service to other people. And everyone that came on this season has been of service to someone else in some shape or form. Okay. So I want to take the time to acknowledge each person that came onto Chronicles of a Virgo podcast this season. And yes, we got a list of people because look, I ain't trying to leave nobody out because I don't want no problems. And if I do, please don't charge it to my heart, just charge it to my mind. Um, but yes, I want to shout out Mr. Rashad Mills, Antonio Jones, Justina Lindelman, Michelle J. Lamont, Dr. Bolanley, Tiffany Harvey, my girl, Kenisha Nichelle, Lane Allen, Scott Skavosky, and my good sis, Erin Darden. All of them amazing people came on. They're in their professions, they're authors. They have risen through the ashes of what they thought they were going to sink and stay in, but now they are thriving in their life and continuing to push through. And this is not to say that they never experienced anything else. This is not to say that life don't life for them, but because they were able to do the work, they're able to, when things are placed on their path, they can get through it. And then we had some wonderful other podcasters that came on that shared recommendations, that shared their stories, that shared some insightful information in hopes that it would hit someone else and be a blessing in their life. A lot of these things have been blessings to my life. A lot of these people I hold near and dear to my heart because the list that I'm about to mention, a lot of these people have been there in my time of need, especially these last couple of months. So I appreciate all of y'all. And again, they are podcasters, so you know what to do. Go tap in with their shows and follow them on social media. Love on them like y'all love on me. Shout out to Mama D from Pedals of Support, Willie and Fiona. Willie and Fiona from the Thing About Us podcast. Coyle Harrison from Visit Vegas Places. My good sis, Victoria J from 12th Street Talk Back. Okay. Panther, my girl from Vital Chats with P. We have Shalia and Janina from the John A podcast. All right. My good sis, Vina from Conversations Corner. Tiff from Tiff's Tips Tuesday. And Vontae from What Was Said podcast. All right. I held space. I like to call them candid conversations. All of those people were a part of candid conversations where we came and talked about real life things, things that are happening around of us, our Black experiences. We talked about relationships, our healing journeys, our faith walks, all of those things. But at the end of the day, we were the phoenix in those situations and we have risen. And if you feel like you're listening and you haven't fully risen from those ashes, I want you to know that you are on your way. Okay. All right. It's about how you reshape your mindset, reshape your experience because you are the author of your life. All right. So, and of course, I cannot, and I will not ever, 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 ever leave out another guest that came on. She's been on every season for numerous episodes. Okay. My good Virgo bestie, Jessica. Shout out to my good sis for coming on. Jessica was a part of a few episodes and conversations this season, offered a lot of insight from what I hear and have been hearing from people. Y'all want more of me and Jess. Y'all want more of me and Jess. And this is the season finale. So me and Jess shall see what we can do. But until that comes, thank you, Jess, for coming on. Thank you, everybody I just named, for coming on and being a part of my marvelous season. Outside of the amazing guests and lovely conversations we had, I was invited to join the Unfiltered Studio Podcast Network. That's my podcast family over there. Shout out to each and every one of you guys. I promise you, if you have not checked out the Unfiltered Studios or some of their shows, there'll be a link in the description. You can go tap in, listen to them. You can find the show probably in any genre, from movies to music to sports, special, not special, uh, self-improvement, spirituality, and more. Okay. It's like over 20 shows in there. Go tap in with some of them people. They are amazing. Thank you for embracing me as my raw, real self. Thank you for allowing me to be me. Thank you for all the support that you guys have offered me for the short period of time that I have been a part of this network. It's a truly wonderful space. If you're looking for a team, come join us. Okay. Again, that link is going to be in the description. And I actually hit another milestone this season that I wasn't expecting. I hadn't even been on my radar, but it happened. And that was Chronicles of a Virgo podcast made the Apple charts 3 times in 3 different countries. And I really had to like check because I'm like, is this real? Who's spamming me? But no, y'all made it happen. We did it. We hit the Apple charts in Jamaica, South Korea, and Honduras. And not only was it 3 countries that we hit the charts in on Apple Podcasts, but it was also in 2 categories in each country. So it was education and special. And I don't know why I keep saying special. Education and self improvement in each of those countries. So for all of my listeners in Honduras, Jamaica, and South Korea, thank you so much for continuing to listen and tap in with your girl and my guests. Thank you for sharing because I can sharing out there. Thank you for sharing the episodes and just supporting me. I appreciate it. It has been a wonderful ride. It's been a joy to see those numbers go up in those areas. Like I love it all. And y'all know your girl is from Baltimore, Maryland. Okay. And this season, I don't know what it was about this season, but Baltimore, Maryland in general has been holding me down. Like I see y'all. I see y'all. I don't know who y'all are, but I see y'all. Thank you so much. Like the Merlin numbers shot up out of the last 3 seasons. And I was like, okay, thank you. I love y'all. Thank you so much. The ones that have reached out and said, yes, girl, I'll be tapping in with you. I love y'all. I love y'all. All the love and support. I promise you, my words will never be enough to explain my gratitude for the support and for y'all to just listen to me ramble sometimes, but also supporting my guests and buying their programs, their books. This season, y'all have really showed up and showed out. So I'm forever grateful for that. And I hope that this platform, my voice, and the other voices that I bring forward in the future will do the same, will continue to pour out to everyone and encourage people through whatever they may go through in their life. I feel like when you rise like the phoenixes we are, you deserve a platform to tell your story. You deserve to be uplifted in a safe space. And we need more of that. So I'm glad that I have that for all of us. Okay. And I know everyone loves to ask, what's to come with the podcast? What's to come with Chronicles of the Virgo podcast? What's going on with Shakita? Let's get into Shakita's business. Well, shall we get in my business a little bit? Because it's been some time since I really recorded a solo episode and told y'all my business and all that stuff. So I guess this is the best time to do it. The last episode of the season. So as you guys know, what's to come? First, let's start there. My main response has been, I don't know. I am taking time off. As you guys know, I still am going through the flows of losing my father and just the grief and the situation. Like I said, it'll be a video on YouTube next week talking about it. But I just need time to just debrief, get my system back together, all that stuff, and just figure out what my next game plan is moving forward with season 4, right? Aside from that, y'all know that I started a new job April 1st. And it's funny because certain conversations with certain people behind the scenes this season, guests, was the influence and push I needed. I didn't even know I needed at the time to leave my comfortable job I was at to do something different. And God blessed me in every aspect that I was looking for in a professional environment. And I'm where I am today. And not only that, I've been thriving in that position that they pushed me into something else that I'm extremely busy now. But I love it. And I love my team. I love everything about my company. And that was one of the main things I needed to happen this year for me to continue to do the things that was on my little bingo card. So, as of August the 5th, I will no longer be a Maryland resident. Okay. So, y'all know I have been talking about moving and relocating and doing all this stuff. And I didn't know. I honestly felt like it wasn't going to happen because it wasn't happening. There was no sign showing that it was happening or it was possible. But it's happening. Everything had been happening during the duration of these last couple months. And as of August 5th, I will be leaving the good old state of Maryland and I will be a North Carolina resident. So for all of you guys that have had conversations with me, know that that was something that I have been praying on, betting on, trying to make happen, and it's happening. So this is actually my last month in Baltimore, and I wanted to just have a cool, calm, collective summer. Okay, spend time with my family, my friends, until it's time for me to go. All right. So with me making this transition from Baltimore to North Carolina, once I'm there and I get settled and stuff, I don't really know what's going to be coming, but the podcast is still going to be here. I don't have an actual date right now when it's going to come, but when I'm coming back. However, you have to follow me. If you follow me on social media, you'll get all your updates, right? So make sure you're following me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever your preference of choice of platform is. Chronicles of a Virgo on all them platforms. Or if you're even following me on one of my main accounts under my name, um, you'll see the notification above when the episode is coming. I'll try to do little pop-in episodes here and there. Can't promise it, but social media is probably your best bet to know when something is coming. Like I said, I will have a video coming out next Sunday, explaining more about what had been transpiring behind the scenes with losing my father and all that stuff, and like where I'm at in that whole journey and what's going on. Because, honey, stuff is still happening. But needless to say, make sure that you are following me, you still tapped in with me in those aspects. And I'm getting back, trying to ease back into my blogging. Y'all know Chronicles of a Virgo initially started as a blog because your girl liked to write. Grief has a way of happening. These last 4 years, I've had deaths that kind of knocked me off of doing things that I enjoyed, and I want to get back to it. So I still have my blog. I'll be dropping new writings soon. So, if you're subscribed, that's fine. If you're not, it's okay. When I write it, just go check it out and I post it and stuff like that. Needless to say, next season is in the air right now, and that is okay. Like I said earlier, you don't have to have all the answers or dates and times for everything. If I tell you I'll be back in September, you're gonna be mad if I don't come back till January. So follow me on social media so you know when I'm coming back. Again, thank you guys for your endless support. Everyone that has been supporting me from day one these last 2 years, and people that is just trickling in that have just found me and things of that nature. Thank you so much for the support, the love, the encouragement. It doesn't go without saying I appreciate it so much. I truly do. I have definitely met some amazing people through this podcasting journey, um, with having guests on, with meeting other podcasters, doing collaborations from here and there. And my experience has been very positive, and I hope that it continues to stay that way. But I also do believe in sometimes, taking a step back to recalibrate, get yourself together. I've seen a lot of you guys coming out now doing rebrands. I'm listening. Your girl's there. I see y'all doing y'all thing. And I love that for y'all. So sometimes I feel like when your life transition from one space to another, like I said in the beginning of the season, everything got to transition with it. That's just me. That's my opinion. So Chronicles of a Virgo podcast transition this year with the little theme, the Rise of the Phoenix. I don't know what's going to happen for next season. It may be another theme, and we just go from there. But I'm always going to pour out positive messages. I'm always going to encourage you guys to take care of yourself. I'm always going to encourage y'all to put your mental health and put yourselves first. And if you ever need some extra pouring, reach out. If I have a Rolodex of conversations you guys can go check out and be loved on by the guests and their experiences and different things. And like I said, all these people, they have something to greatly offer because, baby, I had to spend money on things for additional resources, and it has definitely helped. Just never feel like you're navigating any of these things and these paths alone, because some people have been ordained in their roles so they can help. Please know that. Please know that. So, again, thank you guys so much for another amazing season. Again, follow me on social media, Chronicles of a Virgo podcast on all of my platforms. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I don't think I forgot any. All of the links will be in the description box. If you want to have a conversation or do a future collaboration, you hear that, future. You can email me at chroniclesofavirgo22@gmail.com. Again, please give me grace with my response time, because I'm not really engaged as much on social media, but I'm there. Just not as much as you. Sometimes you need a break, gotta debrief, and that's okay. Nonetheless, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this season. Thank you for everyone again that was a part of this season, making it happen. To anybody that is in the midst of their season or nearing their season ending or starting, I wish you guys nothing but success in any realm that you are in. I hope that you prosper in all the areas that you are looking to and achieve all of your goals. Okay. All of them. So yeah, y'all, we gonna end it on this note. This the last time you're gonna see me sitting in this spot recording as a Maryland resident. The next time I turn this camera on for a podcast, I'll be in North Carolina. Okay. So again, guys, take care of yourselves, but most importantly, take care of each other. I love y'all and continue to grow, continue to heal. Peace out.